Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. Quick disclaimer, I released this story in November, but by then I only had the first two parts of the story. Now we have parts 3 and 4, and OP actually saw my video and messaged me through Reddit, and I'll show that to you at the end of the video. So now, let's get started. This post is from the subreddit Relationship Advice, and it's by user ThrowAwayBroken998. Found out husband, 25 male, is cheating on me, 24 female, and I haven't told him yet that I know. I'm totally shaking right now and my mind is numb, so if this doesn't make any sense, please keep that in mind. Husband, 29 male, and I, 24 female, have been married for a year and a half. We celebrate our second anniversary in February. We knew each other since college, and he has always been a good husband and partner. Weirdly enough, lately he was even more attentive than usual, and honestly, it felt great to have a partner who wanted you so much, and I didn't have the slightest clue that it might even be a lie. I wouldn't have even suspected anything. But about a week ago, I asked to use his phone to call my parents who live in another country, as his phone plan has international free minutes. But he refused to, saying he used them all up. When I asked to check how many are left, he got frustrated as he was playing on his PS5 and just wanted to stay in peace. I shrugged it off as stress, but something in the back of my mind was telling me to look into this further. For the next few days, every time I would ask to see his phone, he would get defensive. The other day he did hand me his phone, but hovered over me the whole time, then snatched it right away saying he needed it for work. Mind you, I only asked for it to use his PayPal account and didn't even go near any of his social media apps. I'll admit, my curiosity got the best of me, and while acting like I was scrolling through my phone, I'd take note of his passcode. It took a while, but I finally got it. The only time the phone isn't on him is when he's asleep. So last night, I took it and started searching. To his credit, I found nothing in his contacts or his latest chats to suggest he was having an affair. But once I checked the archives in his WhatsApp, it was all there. He is cheating on me with a coworker, one I've met many times, and she would have been the last person I would suspect. She's married, 38 years old, and has a 12-year-old daughter. I feel disgusted reading all of their chats. I felt like I was going to throw up a bit. The biggest punch in the gut was he told her that he loved her. She's out on vacation and he told her, "I can't wait to see you," and "I wish your husband wasn't there so I could pick you up from the airport and hug you." Honestly, I feel numb. My heart has been shattered into a million pieces. This morning when he was leaving, I told him I was sick and couldn't get up. He asked if he needed to take me to the doctor, to which I just said, "I'll ask my friend to take me," and he left. I don't know how to talk to him about this, as part of me wants answers, but another part of me wants to believe this isn't real and to save my marriage. But what is there to save if he's already told this woman he loves her? I feel so many things, so much anger, resentment, yet I'm utterly crushed and I have been second-guessing myself. Did I go wrong anywhere? I know I shouldn't think like this, but I can't help myself. I don't know how to go forward with this. He's going to be back home in a few hours. I thought about breaking everything in the house so he could see how he broke our home, then thought of leaving without telling him, but I want answers as well. I seriously don't know what to do here. Well, OP, the first thing you need to know is that you have done nothing wrong. If he started to feel differently about you and your marriage, then instead of going out and looking for a different partner, he should have spoken to you first. And in the case that cheating has to do with any kind of weird psychological underlying thing, still, no excuse, he should never have cheated. If I was in your shoes, first I would grab all the evidence I could and make sure that it's very clear so that he doesn't get to try to gaslight me or anything like that. Then I'd check the laws where you live to see if it's a fault or no fault state. Then I'd file for divorce. Thing is, some people can come back from cheating, not many people can. I know I'm in the second group. And then I'd probably send all the information to the husband so he can make his own decision. Of course that would suck for that husband and very much for her daughter, but still, cheaters suck. And what about you guys? What would you do if you were in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comments section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. California Road Toad says, call a lawyer, show him what you have. This is a situation which requires a clear head and a steady hand. And OP responds, I do have screenshots, but I'll be honest, you telling me to call a lawyer was like being hit by a ton of bricks. I don't know if I can go through with this, let alone a steady hand. EMCCM says, don't say anything to him, he will only deny or blame you. I know this is a massive shock, but you will never be in a stronger position with him than you are now. Get STD tested as soon as possible. People don't just wake up and turn into cheaters. The cheating you know about is usually just the tip of the iceberg. Contact a divorce attorney, gather all the information he tells you to, and then serve him with papers. We don't live in our home country. Shouldn't I have to fly back there as that's where we got married to do all this? The last Basalope says, call a lawyer and get the ball rolling. There is no coming back from this. A person who will not only cheat on their own spouse, but will also cheat with someone who is married and wreck their child's home has no morals and can never be trusted. Ever. Look up the husband on social media and send him the screenshot. He has a right to know what kind of garbage he's married to so he can choose how to handle it. Okay, well in my opinion, they're all good suggestions for OP. So now let's move on with the update to see what OP ended up doing. First off, I want to apologize for not properly replying to everyone and going missing in action. I still have many unread chats and replies on the post, which was locked by the time I could get around to it. It's been a hectic few days for me, to say the least. While still answering all of you, the husband of the affair partner replied to my direct message. I had sent him a simple, "Hi, can you please reply to this? It's kind of important." And while his profile seemed inactive, he surprisingly replied quite quickly. I got to the point so I wouldn't chicken out and told him how his wife and my husband are having an affair. Explained to him they worked together and sent him the screenshots of the WhatsApp chat. Reminding you, I had yet to confront my own husband with everything as he hadn't arrived from work yet. And there were a good few hours before he usually arrived home. I guess the husband might have confronted his wife and through her, my husband found out. But it was obvious he knew, cause that night, he didn't arrive at his usual time. I was thinking of packing up everything and leaving without telling him to begin with, but I guess I wanted answers from him as to why he'd do this to me. When it dawned on me that this man is a coward and I should just leave for my own betterment, I booked a flight back home and left for the airport before he even arrived home. I was waiting for the results of my COVID test at the airport when he called me asking me where I was, and I told him. Part of me wants to laugh at what happened next and part of me wants to cry. Not even in my wildest dreams would I have dreamt the scenario. He tells me to wait for him and we'll take the next flight after this one together. I ask him why should I even consider waiting for him, and he tells me it's all because of my stupidity. As we lived in an Islamic country, adultery is a crime punishable by at least a few months up to a year. So if her husband files a report, he could end up in jail. He basically orders me to stay put and that we'll talk when I arrive at the airport. I flat out tell him I'm leaving and that as he knew about the law and I didn't, he should have thought twice about sleeping with someone else's wife. After that, I turned off my phone and boarded my flight a few hours later. Now I'm back home and everything is slowly sinking in. It's apparent my marriage can no longer go on. I have no love left for the man who, instead of apologizing, or at the least faced me, ended up telling me, "How could you?" and turned me into the bad guy. His parents have even accused me of ruining their son's career as his boss fired him and his affair partner when he found out and even blacklisted him, so now he can't get another work visa for that country. Also, because he left in such a hurry, many things were left unresolved, like we had paid the whole year to rent in advance and still had a few months in the lease, and also things like the furniture and monthly bills. So now he's scrambling, trying to get his friends to suspend everything and sell off the furniture, and his parents are angry at the amount of stress I've caused their son. Thankfully, my parents, most of our friends, and even most of his family are on my side and agree he's the one who screwed up. Many of you suggested I do something to get revenge, but honestly, none of this was my intention. Neither do I get any happiness from it. I also have zero intention of wanting anything out of the divorce. I can earn my own money, and there's nothing he can give me that will make the pain and heartbreak I felt these past few days any better. I'm not shaming people who do seek alimony, I'm just saying I prefer to sever all ties and finish this off as soon as possible. I want to move on with my life and have already reached out to my old employer of rejoining the company, to which they told me I could return whenever. Plus, I'm reconnecting with all old friends I missed while living abroad. Husband has hinted he wants to talk and maybe even consider reconciling, but I've made a strict only talk through my lawyer rule and made it clear that is not happening ever. I don't know if this is a good update, but this is the current reality. My divorce might take a while, maybe even up to a year, as judges usually will give couples a few months if one person seeks reconciliation and isn't willing to an uncontested divorce. So, for now, this man is still legally my husband, but emotionally, he's currently a complete stranger to me. I thank all of you for your love and support. The advice you all gave was really great. Thanks to all of you, I am currently lawyered up and all contact is through him. Okay, so now you're caught up with parts 1 and 2. Now let's move on to the second update. I'm currently hyperventilating and really don't know what to do. I hired a really good lawyer, but she did warn me that if my ex-husband asked for a reconciliation period, the judge would almost likely grant it, and that's exactly what happened. On Friday, before we went in front of the judge, I had asked him nicely, just set me free as I didn't see the relationship remaining intact. He didn't say anything initially, but later on said he'd think about it. We first presented the WhatsApp chat screenshots and my lawyer explained the entire story of him cheating with a coworker and how I found out during this time. This makes me so angry even remembering this part. He starts crying, yes, sobbing like a baby. I'm in utter shock, can't even say anything, and he suddenly begs the judge saying he made a mistake and wants to make it right. He turns to me and says, "I love you, please give me another chance." I begged the judge not to listen to him and let the divorce move ahead, as I did not see a chance of reconciliation, but he said both sides need to agree for it to move forward. I think I was stupid to think this could be easy and the worst part is over. The sad part is that 6 months is just the reconciliation period. The actual divorce can drag up to 2 years. If alimony or children are involved, it goes on longer, but thankfully there's no children or alimony involved here. I definitely need a plan moving forward. Anyway, after that, there was literally nothing I could do or say to convince the judge to let the divorce move forward, and he told us to just try a 6-month reconciliation period. I went home in tears. Today, he contacts me through my lawyer asking when I'll move back with him. The audacity of this man. After all this time, I let my anger get the best of me. I didn't give a flying F if this made me seem bad in court. I took my phone, dialed his number, as I had deleted it, and screamed at him, telling him whatever I wanted to say for the past month or so. I made it clear I want nothing to do with him, and he should go ahead and try all he wants, but he is not getting me back. He had the audacity to call me irrational and threw BS like, "I'll wait for you as long as it takes for you to forgive me." Ugh, this is getting too much for me and I'm hyperventilating. My anxiety is going up and I'm generally not feeling well. My lawyer said he can't force me to move back with him and it's entirely my choice to stay wherever I choose, but still, just the thought of it makes me want to throw up. I think I made myself believe that it'll be easier onwards from here, and it's taken me off guard how difficult it really is to separate from a spouse. I really don't know what to do. I want to go somewhere far away where he can't reach me in any shape or form. Even the thought of him makes my blood boil. So OP's future ex is pulling out all the stops and really trying to force OP to be with him, but OP isn't taking any of it. Now, let's move on to the final update to see how this story ends. I'm kind of clueless as how to begin here. Honestly, so much has happened in the past few months. It's like looking back at a bad dream, but mine was very, very real. So after the judge ruled that we needed to go through a period of reconciliation, I asked my lawyer if I could leave the country, and he says yes, but it might make me look bad to the judge and my ex could use it against me. I didn't care, I just wanted to get away. So I cancelled my old United Arab Emirates visa, which was sponsored by my ex, and my employer sponsored a new visa for me. My best friend, who also lived in Dubai, offered to find an apartment where both of us could be roommates, as she felt crowded in her current living situation. She was living with 4 people, a couple and another roommate, and I immediately agreed. She found the apartment while I was sorting out my visa, and I had technically moved in even before I arrived. Hello. A few days after I arrived in Dubai, my ex's friend contacted me. He still had all our old furniture and just wanted it off his hands, which I was more than happy to do. The bed, side tables, sofa set, and other big furniture I sold off dirt cheap on an app. The stuff I kept was all my kitchen and baking stuff, like my KitchenAid, which I had all bought with my own money, and the TV, which was his pride and joy. Now we have a very nice big screen smart TV in our common area, all thanks to him. Early on, while still in my home country, the affair partner's husband DM'd me a few times, but I was too preoccupied to message him back. To be honest, I intended to block him at first, but once the dust settled a bit, I did manage to talk to him. He's also going through a very messy separation, as he can't file for divorce in the United Arab Emirates. Hilarious as it might seem to some of you, the reason my ex ran away from Dubai with his tail between his legs was that he thought the affair partner's husband was filing a complaint, which he had no intention of doing, as that would mean the affair partner would be charged as well, and he didn't want to do that to his daughter. Now, they are both still married legally, waiting for their daughter to finish the school year so they can go back to Australia to get officially divorced. To think I thought I had it hard. The poor man moved out of his home to a hotel, all for the sake of his daughter, and even after they get divorced, he'll have to deal with this woman as they share a child. Thank God that's something I don't have to deal with. As for my marriage, I'm happy to say our divorce was finalized on January the 16th. Some of you might remember that my reconciliation period was supposed to end in April, but due to some unforeseen circumstances, it sadly had to be cut short. I seriously count myself lucky with this. Apparently, my so-called loving ex-husband, who was crying in court to save our marriage, is getting married again. Yup, he's getting married and applied to terminate the marriage, which I was happy to comply with. I went back home on January the 5th and signed the papers on the 10th, which were finalized on the 16th, and I was back in Dubai by the 26th. Sadly, we didn't have the same judge, so I didn't have my I told you so moment, but all in all, I got what I wanted. Finally, I'm not dating anyone officially yet. I have met someone, but I'm taking things slow and don't want to jump into anything serious just yet. Oh, and something I forgot to mention. You all blew this post up so much that people were sending me screenshots from Instagram posts about it, which I thought was wild that it managed to travel to other social media apps, and even my ex found out about the post through YouTube. Apparently, a friend of his watched it on a channel called Lost Genre, and he even sent me a very scathing email through his lawyer for defaming his name on social media. My lawyer put him in his place, saying that the post was anonymous and no one knew my identity, let alone the country we're from, so he shut up real quick. I had a good laugh about it though, and even talked to the guy behind the channel on his Reddit account. He was super nice. I want to thank all of you for the support and kind messages. I cannot begin to explain how much they helped and gave me strength. To think a bunch of strangers who I've never met showed me my worth and helped me get out of a toxic relationship. Thank you everyone. I know this was long, but since it will be the last update from me, I wanted it to count. Well, OP, like I said in the message I just sent you, it's great to know that everything worked out great for you. I'm really happy that you get to live your life on your own terms. It is true that everything you went through totally sucks, but after all of that, you're now free and happy and you get to live your next adventure. So all the best in the future, OP, and take care, and thanks for sharing. Also, if OP's husband is listening to this, you suck. You know you do. And for those of you that are curious about what OP said to me in that first message she sent me, I'll read it for you. OP wrote, "Hi, I don't know if this is your official account or a fan account, but you made a video with my post. I found it weirdly cause my ex called me out on it, lol. His friend saw it on YouTube and he saw the similarities. My ex is not happy, but no worries cause I found it hilarious. To the point, I really appreciated your advice and wanted to thank you for the kind words. Wish you a happy new year." I wished OP a happy new year in return and all the best, and I also said that if my video caused her any problems that I'd take it down, to which she said no, that I should just keep it up. So again, thank you for sharing, OP, take care. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I really did enjoy reading them to you. So if you did, then don't be shy and go ahead and give the video a like. And don't forget to subscribe or even share this video with people that you might think will enjoy my storytelling. Also, if you have the time, go down to the video description and check out all the links I have for you, from our Discord community to my channel merch. And finally, I'd like to say thank you for watching. It really means a lot to me that you enjoy my videos. And having said all that, I'll see you guys in the next video.